Of Reading by Brianna Newton. The science of reading is the configuring evidence what works in literacy instruction. It is a multidisciplinary field of research that seeks the understanding of human ways of reading. Furthermore, it is to show how reading skills are developed and how to improve literacy instruction. Science of reading provides specific insights from the psychological, linguistic, neuroscience, and education perspective. Science of reading has demonstrated the best methods to help children learn. What is science of reading? Science of reading is a teaching base of 5 big ideas. You have the phonemic awareness, which is the ability to identify, play sounds, and spoken words. The phonics is the understanding of letters and group letters. Fluency, the ability to read words, phrases, sentences, and stories. Vocabulary, knowing the meaning of the word. And finally, comprehension. It's the ability to understand what you are reading. Science of reading provides us with information to gain a deeper understanding on how we learn to read. The science of reading and Scarborough's reading rope has a significant influence on how reading is taught. Educators often use these principles when designing reading instructions. The Scarborough's reading rope. This is a simple way. It helps educators to understand complex processes of reading and different skills that are pulled into place to contribute. Some of those skills are language comprehension, word recognition, skill, and reading. There are 4 theoretical models. You have the simple view of reading, the dual route model, the interactive compensatory, and the connectionist model. First, we have the simple way of reading. It can have a different interpretation depending on the context. The simple view of reading is the word recognition, language comprehension, and reading comprehension. The simple way of reading suggests that reading is made of 2 main components, word recognition and language comprehension. The reading comprehension is the result of multiplying a reader's ability to decode words. Teaching our students to decode early is very important. This will allow equal comprehension of reading and language comprehension. Students should be given strong content knowledge at many domains within all grade levels. This is a video that goes in more detail about what the simple way of reading is.
I'm wondering what the simple view of reading is and how it relates to students in our classroom. In this video, we're going to chat all about it. Stay tuned. Interventionist, and I help teachers to create positive learning experiences for the students in their classroom. The simple view of reading has been a big part of the science of reading that has been sweeping across educational circles. But what is it exactly, and how can we use it to inform our instruction? We want our students to be able to comprehend what they read, but there are a lot of things that need to happen before that can occur. But back in the day, there was this psychologist named Philip Goff, who kind of defined what the simple view of reading was with some of his friends. And this was way back in 1980 something. It started off as the Goff theoretical model, and it is now commonly referred to where their weakness lies. Let me know in the comments if you've had an aha moment. So this is just a quick and easy overview of the simple view of reading. I hope to dive into it more with you later.
Alright, now we have the dual route models of reading. This is the Lexile route and the sub-Lexile route. The Lexile route deals with spelling lookup, and then you have the sub-Lexile route, which is necessary for regular and unfamiliar words. So in your dual route model, the Lexile route recognizes whole words by sight. It's the recognition of words in incomplete units, and most people who use these routes have a mental dictionary. Also, they have a use of familiar and irregular words. The non-Lexile route involves decoding words letter by letter. Then you have your interactive compensatory model. This is dealing with the cognitive ability, your learning ability, and the motivation. The interactive compensatory model is dealing with the word recognition and language recognition work together to compensate each other's weaknesses. In this model, children learn from various sources such as work to decode, read, and comprehend text. It helps the children to understand difference in reading. Students can figure out the missing words, and it also allows researchers to theorize how good and poor readers approach their text. Next, you have your connectionless model. This source is to determine individuals' acquire reading skills and the representation in their brain. This model is the neural and cognitive process involving reading. It is suggested that word recognition and comprehension isn't based on discrete. Learning to read involves strengthening the connections between these units. Now you have phonological awareness. Phonological awareness is the critical component of science of reading. It is the ability to recognize and manipulate the sounds of spoken word. It involves various skills such as rhyming, segmentation, blending, and phonetic manipulation. This is taught during the early stages of reading. This is another detailed example of you have a phonological awareness. You have the word level, the syllable level, the on-site and rhyme level, and then you have your phonemic awareness level. Phonemic awareness is the ability to teach the spoken word. It's the foundation skill that supports reading and spelling development. It's the development of the critical precursor to reading and often considered one of the most reliable predictors. Now you have phonics. Phonics is the ability of teaching and learning to read and write in the English language. It requires a breakdown of words into the constituent sounds. It focuses on the relationship between sound and letters. Phonics is the crucial development of strong reading and spelling skills. This allows learners to become more independent in readers and writers. And then now you have let's compare the three using the word clock. You have the phonological awareness, the phonic awareness, and the phonics awareness. When you hear clock in one word, clock rhymes like rock. And the phonic awareness, hearing the individual sounds in clock, you hear the C, the L, the O, and the CK. And in phonics, you see the written word. You pronounce it each phenomenon and blend it to say the word. Here's a video explaining the difference between phonological awareness, phonic awareness, and phonics awareness.
Hey, I'm Allison from Learning at the Primary Pond. I'm a literacy specialist, and in this video, I'm going to explain the differences between phonics, phonological awareness, and phonemic awareness, and explain some example activities for all three. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified every time I post a new video about teaching literacy in K2. So first of all, the terms phonics, phonological awareness, phonemic awareness, very similar, right? If you think it's a little confusing, leave me a comment and say confusing exclamation point. So yes, very similar. However, they do mean different things, and it is important to understand the differences. And I think a great place to begin is by understanding the term phoneme, okay? A phoneme is one sound. So it could be the phoneme or s or ch. It's like the smallest sound unit in English or a language, okay? So phonemic awareness is simply awareness of phonemes, awareness of the individual sounds in words. And so phonemic awareness skills are things like identifying that the first sound in the word sun is s, or hearing that the last sound in the word brush is sh. As kids progress in their phonemic awareness skills, they'll eventually be able to do things like manipulate phonemes. So for example, take the word cat and switch out the k for to make mat. So that's a more advanced phonemic awareness skill. Now, phonemic awareness is one sub-skill that falls into the larger category of phonological awareness. So phonological awareness includes all kinds of ways of working with sounds and word parts, and we're just working with sounds here. We're not working with any letters, words, phonics, nope, not yet. So phonological awareness includes phonemic awareness, which is what we just talked about. It includes things like rhyming, cat, hat, they rhyme. It includes things like identifying individual words in sentences. So if you say, the dog ran with me, can kids identify the dog ran with me as separate words? That's part of phonological awareness as well. Phonological awareness also includes things like syllable blending or segmenting. So elephant, can they break a word into its syllables like that? Or if you say zebra, can they say zebra? Those are examples of phonological awareness skills. Onset and rhyme too. So can they take the word sheep and break it up into sh, the onset, and eep, the rhyme? Okay, so phonological awareness includes phonemic awareness and many, many other skills as well. So now, last but not least, we have phonics. So far, all we've been talking about are things that can be done in the dark or with our eyes closed. We're only working with the sound when it comes to phonemic awareness and phonological awareness. Now, phonics is a little different. Phonics is the study of how letters and letter combinations connect to sound. So at a very basic level, it's knowing that the letter M can represent the sound or a little more advanced, knowing that the letter S can represent the sound S or Z. Knowing that AI can represent the sound A, the long A as in rain. Or knowing that CH can represent the sound ch. Okay, those are all examples of phonics skills or phonics understandings that kids learn as they learn to read.
Alright, so in conclusion, the science of reading is a contribute evidence-based teaching practice. It has influence on the positive of the curriculum development in our classroom